All right, so here I am, just the day after I got my Lectric XPremium. I'm going to try to go on a long bike ride, see how far I can go, do a range test, and also just see if mechanically it's in good shape or not. Gonna kind of go around the whole city as much as I can, up to 75 miles, but it could be cut short depending on how things go. It's going to be over 100 degrees today, so I also don't know if it's going to be too hot for me, but it's in the morning, so I'll see how far I can go. I'm going to try to stay on the trails, and I fully charged it yesterday. It's got the 2 batteries, so technically if I use pedal assist 2, I should be able to go up to 100 miles. But yeah, I don't expect to go that far today for sure, but we'll see how far we go. Right now, let me check how many miles it's got. Yep, you can see it's only got 1 mile on it so far. Energy bar is full, and 54.4 volts. So here we go. All right, I'm still heading towards downtown San Antonio for my home. I've gone about 13 miles so far. Let's see, 13.1 miles. Voltage is 52. Energy bar still shows all 10 bars. Yeah, this bike's a little different than XP Lite. It takes a little bit more getting used to. You got to adjust the gears and the pedal assist depending on what you're trying to do and how much effort you put into it. So far, the sweet spot for me has been pedal assist 2 or 3 and gears 3 through 5. Right now I'm on gear 2 because when you stop you should downshift so as not to put too much pressure on your motor. But I'm here at Eisenhower Park, the entrance to it. Gone about 15 or 13 miles, so about 1/4 or 1/5 of the total. Yeah, this bike requires a little bit more than the XP Lite in terms of just adjustments and so forth. I noticed the seat seems to be kind of pointing down a little bit. I probably need to adjust it a little bit, and there's some little squeaks and sounds, but overall it's working fine. I did have to adjust the derailleur, the rear derailleur, because the index shifting wasn't working correctly. But all I had to do was loosen this barrel plug, and then I was able to shift properly in gears 3 through 5. I still notice gear 1 and 2 is still a little bit off, but it's good enough to ride. So I'll continue on. All right, I'm still on my ride around the city, San Antonio. Just stopped at the top of this little hill. There's a big park over there. I think it's called McAllister Park. There's a lot of mountain biking, dirt trails, and lots of other stuff. And then over here is the airport. And this direction is towards downtown. So I'm sort of at the north central part of San Antonio right now. Going to be going south from here towards downtown. Let's see. Gone about 2 hours, 5 minutes. I've been using pedal assist 3 most of the time just because it's a bit faster. I've been going about 16 miles an hour on pedal assist 3, and gear 5 seems to be the sweet spot. Pedal assist 2 seems to be a little bit on the slow side for me. But yeah, you can see I've gone 28 miles, 27.2 on the odometer, and the voltage is 49.5. You can see I've lost 2 bars already, but that's pretty good given 30 miles, almost 30 miles. So I'll try to stop like every hour. If I complete the whole thing, it'll probably take me about 6 hours, probably another hour to get to downtown. Then I'll take a lunch break, cool off a little bit. luckily it's a bit windy, so it helps to keep me cooler. But yeah, here we go. This is my first ride on the Lectric XPremium. Just got it yesterday, so it's really just breaking it in. The seat is definitely not very comfortable. I'll have to upgrade it, put some suspension on it or something on the seat post. The front suspension works really well. I hardly felt the bumps or anything compared to the XP Lite, where you feel a lot more of the road. So this definitely, the geometry fits me better. Also, it's a bit bigger bike, and I'm 5'10", so it works for me pretty good. It definitely has more power, but it's a bulkier bike, and so you need the power just to move the bike around. And especially if you load this up with gear and stuff, definitely need the extra wattage. This is 500 watts rated, whereas the other one I think is rated for 350 watts. So, yep, let me continue on. Probably another 10-15 miles to get to downtown, get to my lunch break. Well, didn't go too far, and this trail, I guess there's like a wooden trail that they're repairing, so I had to go off the trail onto where the creek would be, but it's really dry, so I could go on here. But definitely suspension and fat tires comes in handy. There's a bunch of deer over there. I guess they're wondering what I'm doing in their space, but I got to go to the other side of the creek, and I'll go back on the trail. All right, taking a break here on Tobin Park. I made it past that creek where the trail was closed, and I had to go around it. Let's see, we're already 2.5 hours into the ride. Now we're at 30 miles. Voltage is 49. I lost about 3 bars. I already finished my water. I had one of these bottles of water. Finished it, so stopped at this park. There was a drinking fountain there. Filled it up. One of the things about these public drinking fountains is that the water usually doesn't taste very good, so I bring this liquid enhancer. Just put 1 squirt in the water and it makes it taste good. One of the things I forgot on this long ride is electrolytes. Definitely want to bring something with electrolytes, and I don't have that, so I'll probably have to stop and just try to get more sodium or something in my body so I don't pass out. Because I noticed when I went off that trail and I exerted myself that I started to get a little bit dizzy, so I just backed off a little bit and slowed down. And the other thing to keep in mind is when you're biking, you don't always notice how tired you are, because the air kind of keeps you cool. But then when you stop, your body temperature rises, and you got to be careful not to overheat. Luckily today it's pretty windy. If it wasn't, I'd probably be at a higher risk of heat exhaustion. But I'm probably going to cut my ride a little bit shorter than I originally planned. I'm going to try to cut across town instead of going around it like I was originally. So, but we'll see how far I go. But yeah, I think I'm about halfway, 30 miles so far. I'll try to get back home in another 30 miles. But I'm going to be going a different way back home. It won't be on the trails, it'll be more on the roads and stuff. So I'll compare to this. The trail, the advantage of it is a lot of trees. It keeps you cooler. As soon as you go on the roads, temperature rises quite a bit, so you got to be more careful about that. But the advantage of going on the roads is that there's places to stop, grab something to eat, or drink along the way as needed. So I'll just rest a few minutes and then I'll continue on. All right, so it's been a couple days since my bike ride. As you can tell, it was cut short. After
30 plus miles, I stopped to grab some lunch and thought that I was ready to go. And then after that, I started heading off again, and I realized that I was having some heat exhaustion symptoms. So I basically just stopped the ride and got someone to pick me up and come back. And I guess that's another advantage of this bike, is that it is folding, and so it's pretty easy to just throw it in the back of the van. And so that's what I did. As far as the range, let me see. Yeah, I got about 38 miles so far, and you can see the energy bar still above half. Voltage is almost 48, which would kind of indicate to me that maybe it's around 50%, which would indicate, or which means I could probably get about, I don't know, 75 miles of range total. And I was mostly in pedal assist 3. Pedal assist 2 was a little bit too slow for me on this bike. It was like 10 to 12 miles an hour. And since it was going to be a long ride, I bumped it up to pedal assist 3, and I was going about 16 miles an hour. So, yeah, the other thing I noticed on this bike is that when I push this now, it's actually red. I don't know if you can see that. And then the other battery, when I push it, it just shows one green bar. So it kind of makes it seem like these batteries are lower than what the voltage shows. So I'm not really totally sure. I'll probably do another video later on once and I'll just continue biking without charging the battery and just see how far it can go. But I'm waiting for a cold front to come through, which who knows when that will be. We're in Texas, and so it's been record heat for the last couple of months. So, but for now, I'll just end this video for this ride. Overall, it was successful. Didn't have any mechanical issues. Just, yeah, for me, it was just a little bit too hot to be out there biking after, once I hit the afternoon and it got up to over 100 degrees. Just wasn't advisable for me to continue biking. But until the next ride, thanks for watching.